Dear respected Thai, dear community, dear friends, dear family, big family. Today is the 16th of June in the year 2024, and we are in the last day of the Wake Up Retreat in Healing Spring Monastery. Actually, today we don't need to have a Dharma talk because everyone looks very happy already. Right? So the Dharma talk is not for intellectual entertainment, but it is for the transformation and healing. And it looks like everyone is so happy and transforming and very motivated already. So I don't know what I can say. But anyway, I'm trying my best to say something. And please accept it with your open heart. If I feel motivated, I will sing. Or if I feel need support, I will ask somebody to sing. So let's see what happens. So our title of the title of this retreat is befriending with the inner restlessness, which we have not talked about the word restlessness since the first day. But my question is also, do we need to talk about it? Since everyone here, since the 12th of June you arrive and you practice, and you can see it very clearly that all your restlessness is calming down and the other things is rising up, replacing the mind of restless. And for sure, during this retreat, your restless mind is also coming up. But right away, you have this powerful energy of mindfulness to recognize that there is something happen in me, and you can stop directly and take care of that feeling. In my Dharma sharing, I heard that story. Somebody feel unwell and they are able to come back to themselves and take care of it. And that is a very good news. We don't need to talk about nirvana and enlightenment. For me, that is the biggest success in the practice, that we are able to recognize what is happening in the present moment, in the here, in the now. And we can engage with that thing. We are not running away. We are not trying to find strategy to fight with that manifestation. So I would say I feel very proud of all of you, and in the Dharma sharing, in the way how you are in the hamlet, walking around, so peaceful, so mindful. And at the same time, we don't lose this flavor of young people who are very joyful, very connected, and we can connect it not only through conversation, through intellectual connection, but from heart to heart. And this is something very beautiful. And I hope that we can continue this as long as possible as a community. And all of that good condition that we're enjoying this week, it is because we are able to stop. Everyone arranged their calendar in such a way that 12 to 16 is empty, so that you can come here. And those who has not yet empty at that time, they have to talk to their boss, their manager, can you free me from the 12 to 16? And when you receive that news, I think you remember that day you received that news and you feel so happy because you can come here. So that is a big stop that we make for 4-5 days here together. And as we say, meditation is about stopping. So we have to really let go of the idea what is meditation. Yeah. So just by giving yourself space and time, that is already an act of meditation. And then when you stop, you don't work, you don't need to think about your career. You come here to this monastery, somebody cook for you, the organizer prepare the program. You don't even need to think what should I do next. You have a manager, the whiteboard manager, your private secretary already plan all your schedule of the day. You just need to follow and flow with the community. So that save your headspace, a great deal of headspace to calm your mind and to have time. So in the meditation, the first day, Sister C Nim shared that meditation is about stopping and looking deeply. And this is one package. They are not like you do one first and you have another one. It's just like a pedal of a bicycle. You have to do it both at the same time. It cannot be only one first and then the other one. Yeah. So once we have stopping, then we have another one too, which is looking deeply. I like to use the word discovering. When we stop, we discover. So when you stop for 4 days, you discover so many things in you, and you also discover so many things around you, and you also discover so many things in the future, so many things from the past. And thanks to that stopping, we have capacity to look deeply. And that stopping and looking deeply will bring us understanding. And in Plum Village, understanding also means love. So when we understand, it means we love. Yeah. So when we understand ourselves, it means we love ourselves. When we understand someone, it means we love someone. So love and understanding, they are the same. There is no love that has no understanding. If there is a love that has no understanding, that cannot be 100% love. It may be some love, but not 100%. Yeah. Because the more you understand, the more you can love. Like our brother Bao Tang shared about how he was very clean and go into a community where everything is not perfect. So he tried to understand. And when he understands, he can have love. So let's come back to the word restlessness so we don't miss out. Yeah, the title. So restlessness is the opposite of resting. So it means when we are in a state of restlessness, our heart, our mind is not at peace because it cannot rest. It always has something. And it makes us very tired. And this kind of state of mind can bring a lot of unwholesome mental formation, a lot of seeds can be touched by this mental formation. Because all the wholesome mental formation is like a loop. When one arises, they will touch another one and call all of his friends to come up. So when you have restless, you can have anxiety, you can have so many things come out at the same time. Yeah. But when you have a wholesome mental formation, such as mindfulness, such as understanding, such as love, then there's another loop that can also be triggered by love. And then you have acceptance, and then you have understanding, and then you have compassion, and then you have joy, etc., etc. So we do need to take care of our restlessness, because we don't want it to invite its friend to come up for us. Yeah? We want to take care of the restlessness so that the restlessness feel care from us, so he does not need to call his friend to come up, like anxiety, fears, the cloudy mind, to accompany restlessness. Yeah. So we accompany restlessness with the energy of mindfulness. So I will draw a diagram to show you how it looks like. So this is a very known diagram in Plum Village. Is it round? No. It's okay. This is perfectly imperfect. And then we divide into two. And one part we call it store, consciousness, or the store mind. This is where we store all the memories. But we also store the potential. So memory represents the past, and potential represents the future. So let's say right now you don't speak Indonesian. You cannot say that forever I cannot speak Indonesian, right? Because the language, Indonesian language, is already here, in the state of dormant, sleeping. It's in the form of potential. When I was born, when I was kid, I don't speak English. Yeah? But the English is already there in my store consciousness, in the form of potential. And then because I water that seed, and now I can speak English. Yeah. And I can speak another language too. And more. Because they are all in the form of potential. So your future life is already there. The person that you want to be is already there. You are already what you want. You are already what you aspire to. But probably that things is in the form of potential that we need to water, we need to get in touch with, so that it can become reality. And here we call it the mind. The mind consciousness. The mind consciousness is a place, is the root of our action. So it is always something is happening over there. Yeah. And that things will become our action, because this mind is linked with the body. Yesterday, you still remember? They work together with the five senses, and sometimes it can be independent from it. You still remember that talk? So most of the time, the body and the mind, they work together, and sometimes it works together without you understand, without you knowing it. Yeah. So let's say the restlessness seed, because it's already here, right? And somehow it gets triggered, and then it becomes reality. This is like, now I don't feel angry. It does not mean I don't have anger. My anger is in the store consciousness, in the form of potential, in the form of seed. When it gets triggered, it will manifest like this into my mind, and I start to know that I am angry. Yeah. So if I don't have restlessness, the restlessness is in my store consciousness, and when it gets triggered, I start to realize that I am restless. Yeah. And sometimes we don't know that we are restless. This mind is, they don't have light. It's so dark. So then there's something manifest, we still don't know. And we keep thinking, we keep thinking, we keep thinking. We don't even know that we are thinking at the same time. And then nowadays, because you cannot handle that feeling, you need something feeling like, I don't want to get in touch with this, because this restlessness makes me very anxious, and it makes me very, I cannot sit still. I feel like nails everywhere I sit. I cannot sit down. So I will take my phone and check something else to entertain my mind, so that I forget that restlessness. While we don't see the restlessness, we ignore the restlessness. It's like, if you go to a place and everyone ignore you, how you feel? You will feel very isolated, you will feel very upset, you will feel very sad, and you will try to do something. Yeah. So if your restlessness is being abandoned and you don't want to see it, and your restlessness just start to feel upset, he will call all of his friends to go up. And they start to make a loop like that. Yeah. So as a practitioner, we have mindfulness to recognize that, oh, I have restlessness, and I should not be afraid of restlessness. I want to get in touch with restlessness. By coming back to your in-breath and out-breath, you can bring the energy of mindfulness from sleepy, from potential, to a reality. And this mindfulness energy, if we embrace the restlessness, then the restlessness feel like, I have a friend. I feel cared for. And when your restlessness feel cared for, then it will feel calm. Your mindfulness energy will soothe the restlessness energy, will take care of it, hug it, hold it, until your restlessness feel, okay, I think now is enough. I can go down to sleep in the store consciousness. Then you can have a chance to have another seed to come up. So if we have already the mindfulness energy, the wholesome energy, to take care and love our restlessness, then if the restlessness go down to sleep, then we have a chance, the mindfulness have a chance to call another things like peace, like joy, and many other things, to also help to engage with restlessness. So our mind is not something separate from our mental formation. In fact, the mental formation is self is the mind. So you cannot say there is me and there is restlessness and I will take care of the restlessness. You cannot do this. So you have to there is restlessness and there is mindfulness at the same time. Yeah. And we engage with the restlessness through our mindfulness. Because in this practice we don't have an observer, so we need to engage directly with our restlessness, and that needs some courage to do. And sometimes painful feeling is very hard to embrace because we are not designed to like painful feeling. Yeah. So sometimes the painful feeling, especially in the mind, can become a terror for us day and night. And that is why when our mind is weak, we have to take refuge in our body. So you see that your mind is so painful and is so difficult to handle anymore, then you know that you still have body. Because you are more than just a mind. You have body. And the body can generate also energy of mindfulness in the mind. Right? So first of all, you can come back to your breath, and that already the mindfulness arises. And then you practice mindful walking. Every step you feel arrive. And that arrival is not a destination. Yeah. That arrival is present moment, because every time you feel your step, you know that you are in the present moment. And you want every step become the energy of mindfulness, become the energy of care, become the energy of embracing our painful feeling. All the day-to-day life, we need to put the energy of mindfulness over there so that our mind, our body will be feeling cared for. Because it's so important to feel cared for, to feel intimate, to feel closeness, to feel connected. It's so important. Yeah. Let us listen to one sound of the bell. What I have just explained, this is like the Sangha life. Today I give the Dharma talk you may think that I'm the only one here, sitting here, and you forget that you are there. But actually, this talk is only can happen, not only me sitting here, you have to sit there too. If there's no one in front, a little bit weird. Huh? I sit here and talk. Yeah. So it's a teamwork, this talk. And we have a sister helping to invite the bell, and somebody prepare the tea, make this decoration, having a candle, many things. The brother doing the camera. So it's a teamwork for this to happen. And all of this has care, and we care each other. So when you care for me and you listen to me, I also feel care, and I can give the talk through my heart. And when I give my heart to you, you also feel care. So we care each other. Yeah. So the restlessness and the mindfulness is not something bad and something good come together. They are just both reality. They are just our mind. So restlessness is not our enemy too. It is just a mental formation that need to take care. It's not something bad. Yeah. It's like I'm being supported by so many things, by you listening to me, by the bell, by the camera, by the sound system. It is not because I'm disabled, right? It's because everything needs to come together for something to manifest. Yeah. So thanks to restlessness, maybe because we have restlessness, then we are able to experience peace much more clearly. If we don't have restlessness, maybe we cannot feel peace that clear. If you don't feel tired before you come here, you may not feel relaxed now. Right? Thanks to your unwholesome feeling before you come here, and now you can see the contrast very clearly. Yeah. In Plum Village, we call it no mud, no lotus. Yeah. The lotus cannot grow in a marble, but it can grow in a mud. But it's so fragrant and so beautiful when it becomes lotus. So, as a practitioner, we are not afraid of difficulty. We are not afraid of suffering, because suffering and difficulty is not our enemy. It is our life. It's part of our life. And we know that we are not just suffering and difficulty. We know that we are more than that. And we can call the good things, the nice thing, the things that can nourish us, can take care of the suffering, to come up. And then when our suffering and our care come together, they can produce so many other things. Yeah. There are two minds that is very strong when they arise, and they can make us feel very restless. I just take two this morning. Yeah, maybe there are more. One is guilt. I think we have heard this word a few times in this retreat. Guilt. Guilt complex. We call it guilt complex. In the Buddhist psychology, we have the word regret. And this word regret is in the category of the mind. We normally categorize as wholesome, which is beneficial, and unwholesome is not beneficial, which can cause us suffering. But there are a group of mind, which is regret. One of it is the mind that is indeterminate. It is not good, it's not bad, because sometimes it can be good and sometimes it can be bad. Sometimes it can be beneficial, sometimes can be also not beneficial. So a regret, when it comes to you do something and you feel bad about it, but then you recognize it and you are able to stop that habit, it becomes an aspiration. From regret, you transform it into an aspiration, and you vow not to do it again. Because you did it, it gives you a feeling, and you learn from it, and you vow to stop it. And that's what we call regret. It's a very positive, very beneficial. Because if you didn't do it, you don't know. And then when you do it and you feel very bad about it, and then you stop it. In Buddhism, we practice confession also. And this confession is to bring regret to the beneficial direction. We confess to ourselves that I see that I should not do this, and I vow not to do this again, because it does not bring any good to me, and it does not bring any good to anyone. And if I confess to myself it's not enough, then I will find friends that I trust to confess that I feel so bad doing this, and I vow not to do this again, and I vow not to say this again in the future. And I hope that you can support me. So that is the regret that we are able to bring into beneficial direction. But sometimes we can also go to a different direction. From regret become guilt complex. It makes us cannot sleep. It makes us cannot think, because the only thinking is we repeating the mistakes that we are doing, and it goes and go on and on for many years. Yeah, and that's what we call guilt complex. We have guilt complex because there are some element, the cause of the guilt complex. And in Buddhism, we talk about right view and wrong view in the Noble Eightfold Path. And guilt complex normally, it is because we have wrong perception of time. So we have 3 times, right? So we have 3 times. We have past, present, and future. So we did something wrong in the past. And because we think that these 3 times are separated, and therefore we feel very regret, because we have done something, we have did something in the past, and we feel so wrong about it, and we feel so shameful about it, and we thought that we cannot go back to the past to fix it, because we have a wrong perception of time, because we think that this is separated. Yeah. But when we stop and look deeply, we start to see that the past and the present, they don't really have a line. They don't really have a line. And then we see the present and the future. If we look deeply, we also see that it does not have a line. And in fact, when you see the present moment, you can see the past and you can see the future. So the definition of mindfulness, if you still remember, the energy that make us know what is happening in the present moment. So this is the present moment. What is happening in the present moment? Yeah. And when we call present moment, we have to include past and future in the present moment. So the word that we are using right now quite often, we call it trauma, for example. And this is how the past in the present. We experience something in the past, in the present. Yeah, that's why we feel depleted, we feel weak, we feel overwhelmed, because we re-experience something from the past in the present. Because they are not separated. But yet our mind always thinks that if I did something wrong in the past, I have to feel shame and regret about it forever. Yeah. But when we look at this deeply, the interbeing nature of the time, we can see that actually the past can go through the present. Yeah. And nowadays we have something called climate anxiety. And that climate anxiety, it is the future that comes to us in the present. We can feel what will happen in the future. We can see it, what is happening for the future. And that's why we have this fear and anxiety for the future. Because they are not separated. So the future can be present now. And the past can be present now too. Is it a good news or bad news? Is it a good news or bad news? It's a good news. Yeah, it's a good news because you know that you have access to the past and you have access to the future. It means in right here and right now, you can fix what had happened and you can do something for what will happen. Yeah. So that is a good news, personally and collectively. So there is a sutra called The Better Way to Live Alone in the Buddhist text. You can find it in the Plum Village website. So let's do this Indian mathematics. Yeah. So in the sutra, they have this dialectic way of speaking. Yeah. So they say, someone can be swept away by the past. What does it mean? So this one say that if someone experience his body or her body or their body, feeling, mental formation, perception, consciousness in the past, and this person get burdened by it, then that person is swept away by the past. But if that person experienced that their body in the past, their feeling in the past, their mental formation in the past, their perception in the past, their consciousness in the past, but they are not burdened by it, then they are not swept away by the past. It's very easy. So you need to really be present in the present moment. You check, this feeling is belong to the past or belong to now. I can feel it now for sure, but that is probably come from my hatred toward my father. Maybe that is my hatred towards my mother. The hatred towards someone that made me suffer in the past. Maybe I was bullied in the past, and that now come to the present moment. And when I found that this feeling is coming from when I was kid to be bullied, then I know that feeling is from the past. Then I know that I'm not really getting bullied in the present moment. So if I can see that clear, which is not easy, then I'm free, because I cannot be burdened by my body experience the past in the present, and etc. Sometimes when I'm in the crowd, I feel a little bit afraid. I feel a bit anxious. I feel a little bit disconnected. I feel lonely. But if I recognize it, I have to stop. With the energy of mindfulness, I will embrace that loneliness and take a look, what is that? And then I see that that feeling is the feeling when I was going to school the first day. When I see all the new friends that I don't know, and my parents left me to the school, and I don't know anybody, I don't know the teachers, I don't know my friend. So I feel this like anxious feeling. And when I found that that is belong to 6-year-old child, then I know that my feeling is in the past. And I should not be burdened by it. And then I can smile to the people in front of me. I can cook, I can do facilitation, I can give a Dharma talk without getting burdened by my feeling. But I need to take care of it. I need to sit down with it, embrace it, and see it clearly that that is not me. So this is the next one. Can we get trapped in the present? So that is the question. And can we not get trapped in the present? Yeah. We can get trapped in the present. Yeah. So what does it mean? It's also the same. So it's the same mathematic way of looking. So, in this case, we have a feeling and we experience something, and we call it, this body is me, this feeling is me, this mental formation is me, this perception is me, and this consciousness is me. So we believe that in the present moment we are getting bullied, which in fact not. In the present moment, we believe that this feeling of disconnection is belong to the present moment only. And we don't know that it belongs to the past, for example. And then we get caught in the present moment. And we think that this suffering that I have is belong to now, because I feel it now. Who say this is belong to the past? Because I feel the difficulty feeling is now. Sometimes we can argue with someone like that. But if we are meditator, if we stop and look deeply, we can see that this body, the way I walk, is belong to the past. The way I get rushed here and there is belong to the past. So I don't need to feel, you are so bad practitioner, why you walk so fast in the present moment. So I don't get caught in my body. So I know this is my habit. I know it. I can fix it in the present moment. I can walk a little bit slower after I caught my way of walking. So the practitioner will not see that this body is me, this feeling is me, this mental formation, this mind is me now, and this perception is me now, and the consciousness is me now. So we can be free. So we can invite mindfulness to embrace through our daily practice, brushing teeth, walking, eating mindfully, deep relaxation, and etc. It is very difficult to get in touch with our body sometimes because our mind is running all the time. Even we already lie down and we want to do deep relaxation, our mind is still chased after deep relaxation. Have I feel relaxed? How can I feel relaxed? Is this relaxed? We continue to run after lay down. Yeah? And sometimes it takes someone practice for 1 month to really get in touch with the feeling of relaxation in the body. This is my own experience. After I ordained, I have a very terrible mental state. All my suffering coming up. And I cannot call its name. It's just a terrible feeling. Yeah. And suddenly my world become very dark. And my mind become very unstable. There are so many pictures come to me and tell me they are the cause. But I cannot trust any of them. Yeah. And it makes me very restless. I cannot do sitting meditation because it terrorizes me with my body feeling, with my mind feeling. I just cannot sit still. It does not make me able to, I could not do walking meditation too, because my body with that state, I will not have any energy. I just want to sleep and lie down. And if possible, I can sleep as long as possible. So I don't need to face that feeling. I don't know if you ever experienced that. It's terrible. And I told myself, if I cannot generate energy of mindfulness, then I will not survive. Yeah, I will not survive. And I have to make effort to stop. And I see that the only practice I can do well is deep relaxation. So I lie down and try to feel my body. It is so difficult because the mind does not allow me to touch my body, because my mind is like crying for help. But actually, that mind has to stop so that it can get help. Yeah. So I do my best to come back to my body. It takes me 70 days to be able to come back to my body and stay in my body, to allow creating head space and heart space for me to think clearly. Yeah. But I know that coming back to oneself is not something like you turn your hand. It needs some trainings. And I was still a novice. I'm still very new in the practice. I don't have that energy enough. So I have to do it like 5 times a day, deep relaxation. Yeah. And I'm like a doctor, prescribe deep relaxation 5 times a day. Please take it regularly. So I did that. So I did relaxation, I practiced walking meditation, I vowed to walk 3 months mindfully everywhere I go, because I want to survive. Because one day I contemplate this feeling, I say, how many people has this feeling? And I see so many people has this feeling. And I ask again, Are they young or old? All age. They can experience this. And I ask again, do they all survive? And I see clearly that not all of them survive. Yeah. Some of them survive. Some of them have to lose their life. And it's very powerful, that contemplation. It gave me a lot of power to choose that I need to survive, because I want to support the people in the future. So that present moment also contains the future. I have to be able to survive to the future if I want to help the future. So that aspiration, bringing all the people of the future, young, old, who has the same situation as me, to practice together with me. Yeah. It takes me 70 days to calm my mind and to be able to see, look deeply, what is that? And after that 70 days, I start to talk to my emotion. I start to talk to my feeling, my mind. I say, can you tell me who you are? Can you tell me who are you? Why you are here with me? In a very painful feeling. What can I help? Yeah. So first of all, I need to have space. I need to have peace, to be able to completely present in the here and now. After a few days of practicing, I start to see why that feeling is there. So I feel like I have a lack of love inside of me. I see that I don't know how to love. I don't know how to receive love. And that is why I feel so disconnected. Yeah. And I remember I blame so many people in my life. In the past, my habit is like, I don't like this person, cut. I don't like that person, cut. Check out from my life, yeah? I have that habit very strongly in the past. And then after I cut, of course, what is left is myself. There's no one anymore around me. And that's why I suffer a lot. So I have to learn to accept that my love should not be one direction. My love should be two directions. So I cannot just put a qualification on someone and then see if they can check in or they can check out. They should check out, yeah. And of course, nobody will fit my expectation, and therefore they are all check out, yeah. So I have to fix that. And the first person that I have to fix is my father, that I check out from my life. Yeah. And this is very unconscious, because I thought that I already forgive him. I thought that I have reconciled with him. I thought that I already accept, but actually the depth of my consciousness does not accept that. It continues to make me feel like I'm missing something in my life. Yeah. But I practice the past and the present together. So I bring my father together with me, because he is in me. He never abandoned me. He never apart from me from the very, very beginning. Never. If I take one piece sample of my skin, I can find him directly. I can check the DNA, I can find him. Yeah. physically. Mentally also I can find Him. So everyone in our life, we can find them in us. Yeah. And in the present moment, it's also the same. We can see the future. I practice looking deeply in the present moment to see that the future and the present is not separated. And this is how I practice with the grief. Because if we see time is separated like that, we can feel grief also, because we may lose something in the past. So when my mom passed away, I take some time to meditate on her, because I know that I need to prepare the land of my mind to grieve. So it's like if you want to plant carrot, if you want to plant beautiful flower, you need to prepare the land, the ground, the soil. So I prepare myself, I prepare the ground, I meditate on her. I say, first, I ask, how many times my mother has passed away when she is still alive? And I see that so many times. Because when I was kid, she is not like that. When I was teenager, she is not the woman like this too. When I was young adult, she was not like that too. And she is today is not really the woman when I was a kid. She is not really the woman when I was teenager. She is not really the woman when I was young adult. It means at least she has passed away 3 times. And now is the next one. It's one of the deaths that she has. So that was the insight that I have. And the second I meditate is when she was born, she is alone. And now she has kids. And she has 6 kids. So it means one person becomes 6 now. Right? And then, like every evening we have like 100 people coming to the funeral house to visit her. And I see they are all her too. Because she was alone when she was born. Now everyone know her. So she is also one of them. Yeah. And suddenly I see that she is very small. Yeah. And we are all that is still alive. We continue her life for her. She's growing from one person to hundreds of persons now. And I can see her in her children, her friends, and etc. So in that way, I can see that we all die together and we all live together at the same time. So that contemplation is very helpful to see that she's not completely disappear, because she cannot completely disappear. How can she completely disappear? While I go to the bathroom and look at the mirror, I see her face, for example. She cannot completely disappear. Some part of her is still in me, and some part of her is in my brother and my sister and her friends. Yeah. So this is something that we want to train in terms of perception. Future is also the same. So body, feeling, mental formation, and perception in the future. So when we are swept away by the future, we feel like this part of us is in the future, and we experience the emotion of the future, and we experience the perception of the future and the consciousness in the future. As I share, when we have this climate anxiety, the uncertainty of political situation, and suddenly all our being swept away to the future. And when our whole being swept to the future, there are so many kind of feelings will arise. And the most obvious one is anxiety. I practice a lot with anxiety because it's very alive collectively. I remember there was one time I was asked to write a letter to the middle school, like 15 years old student. So the teacher asked me, can you write a letter to my students? Because many of them get anxiety crisis when they have examination. So I was like, how can I write the letter to them? So I got an insight and I wrote the letter to them. I say, let's make anxiety into beneficial mind. Don't be afraid of it. I say, I only feel anxious and anxiety if I think about the future. If I don't think about the future, I don't have that feeling. Yeah. So I say, if I feel anxious and anxiety, it's a good news because I know I have future. Right? If I don't have future, I don't have anxiety anymore. I don't care about the future anymore. It is because I have future and I care about my future and I want to do something in the present to do something the best for my future, and that's why I have a certain level of anxiety. I need to take care of it to not overwhelm me, and that is the most important. So anxiety is a very natural feeling that we have. We should not make it into a battlefield fighting with our anxiety and fear, but instead we have to see it as part of us, and we can embrace it, take care of it through like coming to the retreat like this, for example. Yeah, practice together, generating awareness. That is possible. I think after this week you may have some glimpse of there's something I can do, and that is very important. Yeah. So anxiety is a sign of future. Remember that. Anxiety is a sign of future. And the most important thing is you can anchor yourself here. Because here is from the past, and the past is the future to be. Yeah. The present is made of the past, and the past is the future to be. So we can do something here to change the future. And in this matter, we should not take things personally. What happened in the world, what happened in our society, even for us is so dissatisfaction, we should not take it personally. We need to find a Sangha to face it together. If we want to change, we need to change it together. We should not put all the burden into ourselves because it's so big, it's too hard to hold it. So coming to this retreat, there are so many friends sharing that, it's so nice here, we can say anything. We can talk about the war, we can talk about so many different things which outside is so sensitive to talk about. But here we can, with the energy of togetherness, brotherhood, sisterhood, siblinghood, we can sit together and talk. So the last exercise of the mindful breathing is about this. It's about how can we make a little correction of our way of thinking, our way of looking at things, especially the discriminative mind, separation mind is so strong in us. We have that mind because we see that I'm a person and outside of me is not me. And therefore we have to protect this small thing. Yeah. And we become very anxious all the time. And when we become anxious, the fear also comes and the other also come to accompany the anxiety. So this is something very important, to not do it alone, to do it as a community. And I think I should not continue to repeat this because you already experienced it this week. It's not something theoretical anymore because it's your experience now. And so please be motivated to go home. Don't be afraid. Yeah? Because fear is one of the elements of making restlessness to happen. So if you start to feel like, oh my God, I have to go home today. What will gonna happen after this? How can I have this peaceful mind? Now and then your mind becomes restless again. Then you need another retreat. But yet your experience, physical, mentally, have told you since the second day maybe, has told you that you are not the same person anymore. If you remember on the 12th of June, you are not a person like today. Your feeling is different. Your body is different feeling. Your mind is different. Your consciousness is very different. And therefore you should not be afraid to go home. Instead, you have to be very motivated to go home, because you will bring the whole community back to your home. Yeah? Your smile to your friend, that is the smile of the Sangha. It's not your smile anymore. You bring all our smile with you home. Yeah. And that is the way we change the way we think. The non-separate self-thinking is very important. So the exercise, the last 4, is about impermanent. We know that things can change at any time if we do our best in the present moment. We can change the future. And things are continue to change. There's nothing can be static. And we have to see impermanent in a positive way. If a child is permanent, then there's no way for that child to be adult. Yeah. And thanks to impermanence, that child can be adult. And thanks to impermanence, that all our problem can be solved. Otherwise, problem will stay as a problem, never solve. Yeah. So that is the way we have to start training to think through our mindful breathing. We also want to train ourselves to see that there is no separate self. Everything is interconnected. Our breath and the trees are not separate things. I can say now your body has noodle. After 1 week eating noodle. So your energy, your physical, your muscle was made by noodle. So don't be too arrogant. Huh? Sometimes we think that carrot is not human. Huh? But actually, when you look deeply, carrot is also you. So non-separate self. Everything is interconnected. Every smile that you receive this week become you. Become your mind. Become the relaxation of your body. Yeah. So we interpenetrated together. In the walking meditation, we interpenetrated all our energy of peace and mindfulness. Nirvana. Can I talk about Nirvana? Am I allowed to talk about Nirvana? Do you want to know about Nirvana? For me, it's something that is inexplicable. But as everyone know that I'm a little bit rebel, so I will talk about it. Even everyone will become confused later on. So this is interbeing of reality. Interbeing of reality. So first we already see that birth and death can happen anytime, it can happen at the same time, birth and death. And sometimes we see someone like the example of my mom, she passed away, but actually she's alive, but actually she passed away. So sometimes we can be very confused for our mind. So to help us to not get confused, we have to separate reality. So there's one reality, we call it conventional reality, and there's one reality is ultimate reality, the nature of things. And we should not lean on anything. And sometimes we hear, oh, ultimate truth, I will take that one because it's the ultimate one. You will suffer. Yeah. And sometimes we like to make joke. If anyone told me you are get enlightened, we will call ambulance. Yeah, maybe you are going to the ultimate. And you get lost from the real reality, yeah? So you need to go to the hospital. Yeah. So there is a historical truth and there is ultimate truth, and we don't want to lean on anyone. We just use it when needed, yeah? Because we can go back and forth, left and right, and that's why we call it middle way. So nirvana itself is the middle way. It's something that is unperceivable. I can say that historically, in reality, historical reality, I can say that I'm a man. But ultimately, it's very difficult to say if I'm a man or not. If I have to check my feeling, maybe I will doubt my manness. If I see the way I do things, I will doubt my manness. But I want to be free, not get caught in the box of a man. So I have to find a way, the middle way, to express myself as a man and as a free man at the same time. Yeah. And I like to tell people like, my pronouns is he, him. I'm a man. And if you don't see me like that, that is your problem. It's not my problem. So I don't have to make myself fit with expectation of other people. And this is very important for each of us. We can identify who we are, but don't identify who we are because of the expectation of other people. We need to stay in our body, feel our body, and identify. So we have a middle way between left and right. Yeah. Left supporting right and right supporting left. Okay? Don't be like the political left and right there. They are not supporting each other. So that is important. We don't lean on any truth, but we embrace both of the truth. I am Bao Tang, but I'm also my mother, I'm also my father, I'm also my friend, I'm also you. Yeah. Okay, I stop it there. Don't continue. Letting go. And letting go also the same. We need to let go, to train ourselves slowly to let go of a separate self, of I'm not you, you are not me, I'm not trees. And that's why we destroy the earth, because we are not the earth, we thought. But we are the earth. We are the water, we are the air, we are everything. So that is something that we need to train, and it is not very easy to clarify our mind like that. So that's why we need to take step by step. Don't be hurried, don't be too eager to, free yourself from something that you cannot be free from. And we just need to be happy, peaceful, nourish ourselves in the present moment, find connection as many as possible, connect with ourselves first and then with other people. Find a sangha, please go home. Or build a sangha when you go home. Yeah. And I would like to end my talk with the song, if everyone is happy to listen. And I will invite Max. Where are you? Yeah, I need help for guitar. I cannot play guitar. So this song is a combination of this, a summary of this talk, that we do have feeling of loneliness inside of us. Sometimes it can be very painful, but at the same time we need to change the way we think, because we are not a separate self, we are connected with all the things. Yeah. Yeah. I hope I remember the word. So we do first one, first two, chorus. Loneliness, yeah. Loneliness is the sickness of this time. You may feel the pain throughout the day, yet within you lies the whole universe. Your eyes are the deep ocean, your heart is the blue sky. The world may seem cold, but you have the strength to rise above the sorrow, to find your own path. Embrace the solitude, strengthening your heart. Like the beautiful lotuses, rise up from the mud. In your loneliness, find hope and light. Breathe like a gentle wave and feel safe. Smile to the beauty of the trees and the freshness of the air. Listen to the songs of the birds, they are always there. When the darkness overwhelms your mind, look at the stars, they all brightly shine. They all were born from the darkest night So hold on tight, you'll find your light. In your loneliness, find hope and light. Breathe like a gentle wave and feel safe. Smile to the beauty of the trees and the freshness of the air. Listen to the songs of the birds, they are always there. They are always there. They are always there. They are always there. Thank you. Let us listen to the 3 sounds of the bell, and then after that I will give you a gift. I have a gift for everybody. Thank you, Max, for playing the guitar for us. So that is why, thanks to the suffering, then the good song can come out. Yeah. So this is original song that come out from my star consciousness to offer, to respond to why, how can we face our loneliness. And I have a gift. I have calligraphy for everybody to bring home and to practice 100% in the present moment. Yeah. So this is 100% in the present moment. Yeah. So I would like to give to all our retreatant first, and then the volunteer can have it after. If we don't have enough, I will write more. But our friend who will leave today can take first. Yeah, I will maybe put it here, and please take.
Monastic last.
Monastic last. Okay. Oh, sorry. I would like to apologize also. This is something that I want to. This is something that I would like to make a habit. Every time I take the time of the Sangha, I want to apologize. I'm not supposed to finish. I'm supposed to finish at 11:15, but I take another 15 minutes. So thank you for your heart and to stay another 15 minutes.